What's going on, guys? Dwayne here with How to Build Credit TV, and I am back again. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card. As a matter of fact, this may be my next credit card. It's been a while. I haven't applied for a credit card in quite some time. And so, like I said, the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card might be the very next credit card that I get. So it's been a long 2 years. I decided that I was going to wait 2 years and allow all the hard inquiries to fall off of my credit report. So, of course, hard inquiries are basically anything that pulls your credit score. So if you're applying for a credit card, that's going to serve as a hard inquiry if it's a hard inquiry for that card. If you're trying to get a personal loan, if you're trying to get a auto loan, a home loan, these are going to be hard inquiries. Okay, so I at one point probably had 8 to 11 hard inquiries on one credit bureau, right? I'm not talking about spread across the bureaus. I'm talking about the fact that I may have had between 8 and 11 hard inquiries with just one credit bureau. So I decided that I was going to wait. And of course, a lot of people don't necessarily glorify waiting to allow these hard inquiries to fall off of your credit report. Of course, there are different ways and different things that you can do to expedite or help the hard inquiries fall off of your credit report. Of course, I'm not well versed in that, so I never really spend time talking about it. And, basically you have two options. If you have money, right, you could pay to get the inquiries off, and that might make it faster. Or if you have time, like me, you might just want to be lazy like myself and wait. Or if you can do some research, there are different ways, like I said, to get hard inquiries off. And it's not like, I'm an expert on that, because I am not. Anyway, like I said, this is going to be the first credit card that I'm considering getting after I've come out of the garden, which just simply means that I did not apply for anything that would make a hard pull on my credit report in the last 2 years. And as you guys can imagine, that wasn't the easiest thing to do, especially with a YouTube channel talking about credit. Speaking of, if you're new to this channel, once again, my name is Dwayne with How to Build Credit TV. On this channel, I talk about credit cards, and how to make money using credit cards. So be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, so if you're watching this is a live stream right now, but feel free to smash the thumbs up in this video. It's going to help this particular video and this channel get pushed in front of more people. It's always good for people to have different perspective on the same topic. That's why we research. So anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. Once again, this is a live stream, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. I see Mikey T has a comment already, so I appreciate you, my boy. I'll get to you in just 1 second. Let me see here. I got a lot of stuff going on my screen here. It's been a minute since I've done a live stream. Of course, last week I wanted to, but it just didn't happen because, I'm out here in these Uber streets trying to earn some money. So, of course, it's easy to, want to relax. Like today, for example, today was a very productive day for me in Uber. And I could have easily made over $300 today, easily. But I decided that I was going to stop a little early so that I can get in here and do a live stream for you guys. So like I said, hopefully you guys are doing well. And if you have any questions or comments, slap them in the comment section and I will answer your questions. All right. So yeah, I'm very interested in getting this credit card from Wells Fargo, the Active Cash Card. Now, of course, there is the other card. Well, Wells Fargo has a couple of cards, and I guess we can take a look at that. I pulled up their website right before just so I can kind of see what they had. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to share my computer screen, and then we'll have a look at the different credit cards that they have to offer. Okay. So I'm going to go to the Wells Fargo site. As you guys can see, I'm sharing my screen with you guys now. And then I'm going to just click on credit card. And so you can see here, it says view all credit cards right here at the top left. Of course, Mikey T is talking about, speaking of Wells Fargo, I just got the Built Rewards card. So here's Mikey T's comment in regards to the fact that he's got, the fact that he applied for that particular card from Wells Fargo. Give me a second here. Let me make sure. There we go. We back in there. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight Mike's comment there. All right. So once again, if you go to credit cards, you can see that they have quite a bit of cards here. And of course, you can click on view all cards. And of course, you can get more information. Now, I'm not a huge Wells Fargo fan, actually, which is kind of funny. But the Built card Mikey's talking about here says a credit card that lets you earn points on rent, which obviously is always a good thing. So Wells Fargo has stepped it up. And then, of course, they have the new Wells Fargo autograph card, which is pretty decent. You are allowed to get 3 times points on quite a bit of different categories, which is always a really, really good thing, as you can see there. One of the things that I do like about these cards is the fact that there are no annual fees. That's kind of freaking awesome. That's always a turn on for me personally, because it just makes it easier, right? So you have the Wells Fargo Active Cash card, no annual fee. Then you have the Built MasterCard, no annual fee. Then you have the Autograph card, no annual fee. Then you have the Wells Fargo Reflect card, no annual fee. Then you have this Choice Privilege MasterCards, no annual fee. Then you have the Choice Privileges Select MasterCard, and that one does have an annual fee. However, they have stepped up. Wells Fargo has stepped up in regards to their credit cards. And once again, I'm not the biggest Wells Fargo fan, but I have had Wells Fargo checking accounts for quite some time. So it's actually kind of neat, because what kind of prompted me to consider applying for the Wells Fargo Active Cash card is the fact that I do have a checking account right now with Wells Fargo. And when I log in, they're like, hey, consider applying. So, of course, they took it a step further and they sent me an email, and the email is all, worded real nice, like you're invited to apply, right? They're like, congratulations, you're invited to apply. So, of course, that's always kind of enticing. And if I'm being 100% transparent with you guys, one of the things that would make it very easy for me to apply for credit cards is the fact that they have good sign-up offers. And of course, good sign-up offers is about perspective. I mean, what's good to me versus what's good to someone else is going to be different. But one of the things that's very intriguing to me regarding the Wells Fargo Active Cash card is the fact that you get to earn $200 cash rewards after spending only $500. Now, you can't beat that. That's such a great deal, and that's not a deal that's available a lot. Now, of course, with the spending of $500, I've seen, you get $100 back, or I've seen $150. You don't see spend $500 and get $200 back. So I do have the emails from Wells Fargo here, and I want to see when it expires, because I want to make sure that I give myself the opportunity to reply. So here's my little email I got from Wells Fargo here, and you guys can see it says respond by April, not April, whatchamacallit. Let me get on. Let me see myself on the screen so I can see. It says reply by July the 23rd. July the 23rd. So you guys can kind of see that here. I'll share with you guys. There you go, July 23rd, which is kind of neat. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but it is a decent offer. And, when they're trying to give me $200 back, right? Let me see what percentage that is. That's obviously not 50%, but it's up there. Yeah, I mean, it's 40%. 40, right? So it's 40%. You spend $500 and you get $200 cash back. That for me is a no-brainer. For someone that's fortunate like me, for my credit situation to be what it is, as far as my scores are concerned, right now I am 1000% confident that I have an 800 FICO score on all 3 bureaus, just because of the simple fact that I don't have any hard inquiries. Let me even take it a step farther and show you guys kind of what's going on in my Credit Karma. Now, of course, I'm using Credit Karma because, your boy's cheap and I don't like to pay for extra subscriptions. So, of course, I don't have one that I'm paying for. So I'm going to log into my Credit Karma here, Face ID, and my Credit Karma is going to pull up here, as you guys can see here on the screen. Give it a second there. It's working real slow. All right, so this is today. This is right now. As you can see on TransUnion, it says 8:11. Equifax says 8:13. It's actually down. They're both down 1 point, but that's because, of course, my spending. Every time I use my cards, my score is going to change, right? But one of the things that's cool, if you look at what's going on, and this is one of the things I love about Credit Karma, is the fact that you have the access to these things for free, right? You got my payment history there, card usage 0%, which is not accurate. My credit age finally says 5 years. For the longest time, it was like 4 years and months. And then, of course, you have the total accounts 39, hard inquiries 0, right? So you see the credit age it's in the yellow, right? I need that to be like 9 years for it to be in the green. And if it was 9 years, my score would be substantially higher. So that's TransUnion, I believe. Here's Equifax. If I click on Equifax here real quick, the score is 113 with Equifax. And then you can see the factors again. Payment history 100%, card usage 0, which it's not 0. Credit age 5 years 1 month, total accounts 41, hard inquiry 0. If I click on the card usage, just to show you guys, it's really not 0%, right? So you got $344 out of $200,000, right? So just to kind of give you guys a heads up. Now, one of the things that is going to be interesting is applying for this card, or any other card for that matter. I really need a couple of cards in mind to apply for, because I will be, whenever the time comes for me to apply for cards, I will be applying for multiple cards on the same day, at least 2 cards on the same day. I did this way back in 2018, which was kind of neat when I started this channel. I applied for several cards in August. I applied for another couple of cards in September. And then I applied for the American Express Gold card in October. And I'm sure I applied for another one in November. I can't remember. And then the following February, which is 2019. So I will be applying for multiple cards. But, currently I have at least 23, 25 cards. And it's not like I need another card to manage. I don't even worry about using my cards and freaking out. Like, if I don't use it, they're going to close my account. As a matter of fact, 2 credit cards were closed recently. I think my Old Navy card, which had a $4,500 limit, that was closed. And then my TJ Maxx card, which had like an $8,000 limit, that was also closed. And before that, I had a Macy's card that was also closed. So I'm not tripping, it's just one of those things. Like, after a while, you don't worry about certain things anymore, just because, it becomes nothing special, right? Like, prior to accomplishing a goal, it's everything, right? It's like if you wanted to be a millionaire, and the dedication and deliberate action that it takes, you have to be very serious and very focused. Now, after you become a millionaire, and of course years go by, being a millionaire is not as special as it was before you were able to accomplish that goal. Now, I don't want that to come off like ungrateful or whatever, but that's just a decent example. Now, of course, your boy's not a millionaire, so I don't know nothing about that. I don't know anything about that. But for me personally, that's been some of the experiences that I've had in regards to the way we think about certain things and how great it would be, right? Like, back when I started to rebuild my credit back in 2013, I never thought like, oh my God, what am I going to feel like to have an 800 credit score? It's going to be the best, right? Because of course people talk about an 800 credit score all the time. And of course, in true real life fashion, your score increases a little bit at a time, right? Even if it jumped 40 points, 50 points, 70 points, right? It's not going to jump that amount of points the closer you get to 800. It's very interesting. It's like, it's maybe like filling up your gas tank, right? The closer you get for your gas tank to be full, you have to kind of pump slower, or it's going to spill over, right? Same thing with if you're pouring water into a glass. In the beginning, you can pour aggressive, like, let's go, water, right? But the closer you get to the top, you're going to slow down, right? You're not just going to go the same speed and stop. in time, right? Because you're not. You have to slow down because it's going to spill over. So yeah, it's definitely been an interesting journey. Thinking about the fact that this started back in 2013 for me, and now 10 years later, right? Which a lot of people, myself included, love instant gratification, but in some things there is no instant gratification. There is literally, you got to do the time, and there are certainly no shortcuts sometimes. And I feel like that makes you appreciate your journey better. I'm going to jump into the chat real quick. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free. I see we got Devin in the house. Devin says, "Hey, Dwayne, how have you been, bro?" I'm doing good, man. Just, living the dream, trying to stay positive. Uber's been beyond interesting. And by beyond interesting, I mean not very profitable, but every day's a win. Every day's a W. Even the bad days, they're all wins. And so that's how I choose to see it. Devin says, "I just product changed my active cash to the autograph since my oldest card on report, which is 17 years old. Recently, I got about 7 credit limit increases, got approved for the PayPal Business MasterCard for 10,000. Recently joined 2 new credit unions, which are Langley and what's this, Neek, in the last month." First of all, congratulations, Devin. Thank you so much for taking the time to share that information. And that's huge. I mean, 7 credit limit increases. Boy, you are forever staying on it. It's pretty funny because the credit limit increases is not something that I have been very diligent or faithful about. I probably, in the last 10 years, I've probably tried to get a credit limit increase 8 times, you know what I'm saying? But that's good. I'm glad that somebody's having some success out here. So thank you so much, Devin, for sharing that information, man. I really appreciate it. And hopefully somebody will benefit from seeing that, because that is freaking dope. Give me a second here. Yeah. Like I said, I hope you guys are all doing well. And if you have questions or comments or anything, don't hesitate to slap that in the comments section. This is a live stream, so I will see your question and I will try my best to answer your question to the best of my ability. Okay, so once again, the active cash card from Wells Fargo has that $200 cash back, and that's spending $500 in the first 3 months. Let me show you guys the website real quick, just so you can see it. All right, so it says Wells Fargo active cash card, new offer, earn a $200 cash rewards bonus when you spend $500 in purchases in the first 3 months, plus earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases. And the magic part is there is no annual fee. Now, for me, that's insane. This is a 2% cash rewards, 2% cash back. 2% is huge, and this adds up very, very quickly. There are not a lot of cards out there that are offering more than 2%. Now, of course, there are cards that offer more than 2%, but it's not a lot of them, and certainly not an unlimited amount. I'm not going to get into what other cards can kind of allow you to have more than 2%, but just know that they are other cards out there. So for me, I kind of learned about the magic of 2% cash back using a different card, not this particular card. And that card has a $49 annual fee, which is not that big of a deal, especially since you get TSA pre-check or global entry, which of course I choose global entry because you get the TSA pre-check when you sign up for global entry anyway. And then of course that lasts years, right? So it's a $49 annual fee, but global entry I think is $99. I don't even remember now. It's been a while since I signed up for global entry and TSA pre-check. I think it's pretty funny with some of these credit cards offering to reimburse you for your Clear membership. Clear membership is okay unless like the airport that you are, the line is shorter with Clear. Clear is like over $100 and it's yearly, and I'm just like, this is kind of lame. As a matter of fact, it's very interesting because like between Clear and TSA pre-check, I prefer the TSA pre-check for the fact that you get the membership for, I think it's 4, maybe 5 years. Don't quote me, been a minute. But you get the membership for TSA pre-check for years, and the process when you're in the airport is a lot better and quicker than dealing with Clear. Now, with TSA pre-check, you don't have to take your shoes off. Actually, I think that's right, which is like freaking dope, unless you got metal in your shoes. But there are benefits, like I said, more benefits in my mind to TSA pre-check. The only reason to ever sign up for Clear is if in your particular city, that particular airport, that Clear is faster. Other than that, can't justify paying for the Clear membership. I mean, unless you have a credit card that's going to reimburse you every single year, which I'm sure is possible. I know that for sure the first year, there are credit cards that reimburse you for the first year for sure. But that's just my personal opinion. I mean, Clear is not that big of a deal. I literally signed up for it because I was able to get reimbursed. As a matter of fact, I have to be very careful about maximizing my credit cards as far as like the benefits that I get. It's very easy for me, and I'm a nerd. I'm OCD about certain things, but after a while, I'm just like, you know what? F it. Like, I just don't pay as much attention as I did in the past with trying to like maximize, the benefits of each credit card. So I guess call it being lazy, or whatever you want to call it. So it happens, or at least it's happening to me. So for me, the active cash card from Wells Fargo is a solid card to get. You just can't beat that. Now, I wouldn't say it's easy to get approved for credit cards from Wells Fargo. I think for the active cash, it's asking you to have excellent or good credit, which, probably means every bit of that. However, if you are a Wells Fargo customer and you have accounts with Wells Fargo, I think it would be easier for them to market to you. And I think it might even be easier to get approved for that. Now, when the time comes that I actually apply for this card, because I really am leaning towards doing so, I'm asking myself, is it better to go in the branch or can I apply online? Now, for me, because I have no inquiries, I'm pretty sure, fingers crossed, that I'm going to have a positive experience. I'm going to apply for it, of course, and I'm sure when I hit submit and the wheel starts to spin, I'm going to be all nervous, which is certainly interesting because I feel like I shouldn't be, because with the no inquiries, it's like, not only am I going to get approved, but I might get a really high limit. Now, another thing that no longer matters to me is getting high limit credit cards. Like, it feels good. And it's just like anything else. Like, before you accomplish something that you think is really neat, it's a big deal, right? Like, I can remember getting my first credit card with a $5,000 limit. Like, yes, let's go. And then the next milestone was a $10,000 limit credit card. And I was like, okay, sweet. I have a lot of cards with high limits, and other than it feels good and your ego, it's like, it doesn't really matter, right? I have a card that has a 30,000 limit, doesn't matter. 15, 11, 12, 28, 25,000. It doesn't really matter. Unless I'm spending a lot of money and that card has points or cash back. Now, I do like that I'm able to, if I'm going to buy something, more than likely I'm going to pay for it. So whether I use my credit card or not, I'm still going to pay for it. So if I went out right now and got the top of the line MacBook Pro, which would be a crap ton of money, I'm going to pay the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 that it's going to cost for me to get that high end computer. So I'm going to have that $5,000 anyway. And so for me, that would be a good time for me to kind of look at credit cards and kind of what they have to offer, because I'm going to be spending that money anyway. The good news about the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card is the fact that it's only $500. So you have 3 months to spend $500. Like, that's insanely easy to do. You pay your car insurance, you pay your cell phone, you pay your light bill. Those 3 bills alone is going to be $500. And if you don't accomplish that in the very first month of membership with the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card, you definitely will be able to accomplish that the second month, like, easily. Now, of course, if you need to, spend on different things to meet that $500 requirement, I'm sure you can complete that in 3 months. And that's what is also very appealing about the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card, is the fact that $500 is nothing. Now, I always kind of recommend the fact that you should know that you can meet the minimum spend before you apply for these credit cards. But more importantly, this is money that you are going to spend anyway. You're not like applying for the card and say, whoop, I need to spend $3,000 in the next 3 months. That's like really lame and not necessarily responsible. Now, of course, I can't tell you how to be and what to do with your money, but I know for me personally, that's not going to work. As a matter of fact, that's what has stopped me for applying for a card that I got to spend $15,000 in 3 months in order to get a sign-up offer. Like $15,000 is a lot. And as much as I would like that sign-up offer, spending $15,000 in 3 months is not likely something that I would do unless there were some big events in my life that required me to spend money. Like, let's say I was going to be spending that money anyway, right? Let's say one of my kids are getting married or something, and for some reason I want to donate $15,000 to their wedding, right? That's a lot of love. You know what I mean? So that would be the only situation where I could kind of justify spending that amount of money in 3 months. Okay. So I don't know. That's kind of how I see it. But anyway, once again, if you guys have questions or comments, feel free to slap them into the chat. This is a live stream. I see we got my boy John in the building. What's going on, man? He says, a few months ago, I opened a checking account with Wells Fargo for the sign-up bonus, and I plan to keep the account because I am considering the active cash card in the future. Same thing happened with me. I signed up for the Wells Fargo checking account because they had I think it was a $300. It was either $200 or $300, but I think it was $300, but I don't remember. Don't quote me. They had the sign-up bonus for the checking account, so I was like, no brainer. I think I've had the account over a year, probably closer to 2 years now, to be honest with you. And I really haven't done anything with the account. I have several different accounts open. Like, I have money in a Chase account here, 2 different Chase accounts, the business and personal. Then I have money in my Wells Fargo account. Then I have money in PNC account, which I've been kind of looking at PNC because I have money in that account. I actually have money in my Alliant Credit Union checking account. Actually, it's a savings account. I think it's a savings account. And the reason why I have a relationship with Alliant Credit Union is because that's who financed my Tesla when I had the Tesla. Sold the Tesla, by the way, made a profit. And so that's who, I went through because Navy Federal denied your boy when I tried to get approved for a Tesla loan. And so, yeah, so I have money sitting in that account, and it's like, it's $700. Like it was basically money that I paid for my car insurance, not car insurance, my car note, and it was kind of reimbursed, given back to me in my savings account because I overpaid, right? When I was paying the car off with Carvana. So I have several accounts where I have money here and money there, and it's easy. It's kind of fun. It used to be a lot of fun to apply for these different accounts to get the sign up offers, but I'm a little lazy now. Let's see, there was an account the other day. I think it's with PNC, actually. PNC has a decent sign-up offer with like 2 different types of checking account. One of them was requiring you to have $2,000 of direct deposit into that account, I think in 60 days. And then you'll get a $200 cash. And then the other one's a $5,000 direct deposit in the next 60 days. And I think for that one, you get I want to say 400. I don't remember now, but let me see if I can pull it up instead of telling you guys the wrong stuff, because I know I have it somewhere. Because I was like, maybe I'll get an account with PNC. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me a second. There's a lot going on. Let's see, PNC check-in. Well, I can't just put the right letters first. I should have taken typing in high school. I should have taken typing, and I should have taken Spanish in high school. I took French, because I'm a cool guy. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys real quickly here. As you guys can see, can't see yet, but you can see now. It's right here. So I just typed in PNC check-in, and it says earn up to $400 with the PNC, and then up to 4.30 APY from their like savings account, which I do have. I do have that as savings account with PNC. So this little earn $400 is what I was telling you guys about. The fact that, there we go. The fact that, oh my gosh, the fact that basically all you need is you need to have $5,000 deposited direct deposit wise in the first 60 days of having the account. Let me see if I can put the zip code in here real quick. And you can get that $400, which is pretty sweet. So there we go. So here you go. There's what's required here. So it says earn $400 when you establish your total qualifying, your direct deposit $5,000, which is pretty decent. I mean, it's doable. But I didn't really want to put any pressure on myself because I guess I'm kind of lazy. Because like I said, Uber early in the video, Uber can be hit or miss. It's been hit or miss. And so I'm just kind of like, so I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to put extra pressure on myself. Let's see here. Okay, let me get out of that. Jump back to this other screen. Cool. I see we have 22 people watching. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't smashed a thumbs up in this video, please do so. That helps tremendously. Devin says, to do payments online with Wells Fargo, you have to do it under the transfer tab. And if you want to use the external account, you have to add it to the list to do transfers. Yeah, I mean, what's funny is like, to me, that type of situation now is so simple. But like, I remember kind of getting started with these online type of accounts where like there weren't physical branches that I could walk into, right? So in the beginning, you're all like freaking out like, oh no, I gotta add my account number and my routing number, and you're kind of hesitant about it, and just kind of leery about it in the beginning, just because it's something you haven't done and you're not familiar with. But it's a pretty simple process. As a matter of fact, yesterday I transferred money from my Navy Federal account to my PNC account, because I do have that account with PNC that is now giving me 4.30 APY. When I signed up, it was 4.00 APY. So of course it's gone up because the Fed keeps raising the rates. And so that's actually really, really cool. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw some more money in there. I didn't put a lot of money in there, but I put some more money in there. So it's a pretty simple process. John says the active cash is pretty attractive now because it offered $200 sign up bonus versus some other 2% cards like Citi Double Cash and the PayPal MasterCard and SoFi credit card. I got a $335 bonus with the Wells Fargo account. 325. That's cool. That's such a weird number, but hey, man, that's cool. I'm glad you were able to get that. We got Jesus in the building. What's going on? My brother said I got approved for the Citi Custom Cash, US Bank Cash Plus, Chase Instacart, Citi Premier, PenFed Gold. Since October, I feel all right about my choices. I'm mostly 5% cashback cards. And 5% cashback cards are obviously insanely powerful. I don't know. I think just for me personally, like over time, I just gotten lazy. Like I'm not like as fixated on, making sure I'm taking advantage. And that's the thing, taking advantage of spending in certain categories to get those. But 5% cash back, you cannot beat that. I think one of the things for me too, with my OCD is the fact that I want to see all my money kind of in one place, and I don't really want to have my cash back or my points split up all over the place. But I guess it's inevitable because you have multiple cards. Jesus, man, thanks, bro. I kind of forgot about PenFed, and so like I'm thinking. By the way, guys, please don't hesitate to, give some advice as to credit cards that I should probably consider getting. I can't have no cards with Chase. I can't have any cards with Chase, so don't don't mention that one. But PenFed is a relationship that I did want. So Jesus, believe it or not, you kind of helped put that one back on the map for me. So I need to kind of look into that. I'm putting a note on my phone because that's what I do. You can't see it, but it says PenFed credit cards. Of course, I have all the notes, so we'll see how long it takes me to to pay attention to that one. But 5% cashback cards are freaking awesome. True Benjamin, what's going on, man? Says, what does the credit card company means by everyday use anyway, or anyone? Everyday use, I guess, is just regular use. I don't know that it has to be every day, right? They're just talking about, depending on what they're talking about in the context of which you're speaking, right? Because I mean, everyday use is just regular use. Grocery store, gas, eating out, paying your bills, whatever people do with credit cards. It's actually super interesting, you guys. I was in Jamaica with my dad recently, and we were talking about, I don't know how we got on it, but we were talking about like how in different places in your life, with us in particular, we never filled our gas tank because I was never in a position where it was like, yo, I'm gonna spend, $20 in the 90s, right? Early 90s or mid 90s. I'm gonna spend $20 and fill my tank, right? Because gas was like in Houston, like 99 cents a gallon, right? 89 cents. I remember seeing gas for 89 cents a gallon, which is crazy. Now I sound like, the older people. Back in my day, gas cost XYZ. But it's certainly interesting, right? Like when I was in college, I never like filled up my gas tank. And so then now it's nothing to fill up my gas tank. Like I have to do it. I drive Uber, right? As a matter of fact, I need to fill it up tonight so I can start at 4 o'clock in the morning. But it's nothing now to fill up my gas tank, right? Because that's just what it is. I spend the $35, the $40, the $42, and I'm like, ugh. That's expensive, and it is expensive. But just to be at this place in my life, where, I wasn't able to do something, and now I just take it for granted that I fill up my gas tank. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel in regards to some of the things pertaining to credit cards, right? Like, I'm just in a really, really good place. I used to be the college kid that didn't have a job, and I used my credit card to replace my tires, or I used my credit card to buy a PlayStation 2, which was my very first gaming console. I spent $435 for that PlayStation. It was super expensive, especially back then, right? For a PlayStation 2. That's what I was spending. That's what I was using my credit card for. And I didn't have the $435. I didn't have the money to, replace my tires on my car. Right. But now I'm in a different place. Right now, when I use my credit card, the money's already in the bank and I use it. I get my little points or cash back and, I pay the card off. Like that's just what it is. So I'm very grateful for growth and being able to kind of stop and recognize that. Devin says, I am finally getting the Altitude Go card. I tried for about 2 years ago, because my Union Bank Preferred Rewards is being converted to it. Okay, very, very good. That's cool, man. That is very, very cool. Yeah, I know that U.S. Bank is not the easiest to get approved for cards. I feel like U.S. Bank and Barclays, for sure, off the top of my head, that they would prefer if you had no inquiries, or just one, maybe two inquiries when you're applying for their cards. They're very inquiry sensitive. Jesus says, I've been a customer with PenFed for 2 months and they have been great. If I could start my credit journey over, I would focus on big credit unions, not the big banks. No, and these are facts. A lot of people just don't know. I mean, and there's a lot of information that we just are not exposed to. But, because of YouTube now, and there's a lot of people on here sharing their own experiences and sharing their knowledge. Now, we are inundated with information. So I feel you on that. The reality is, you can get everything that you need from a credit bureau, and the credit bureaus are 99.99999% of the time better than just the regular bank anyway, right? Like the interest rate is lower, the APR on the credit cards are lower. Just in general, it's just a better experience that you have in regards to the majority of credit bureaus versus these big banks that we know. Jay's World 314 says, how many business credit cards do you have? Are you a fan of business credit cards? I currently do not have any business credit cards, and this is certainly not a good thing. I actually have had a business since 2019. And I have not. At one point, I had an American Express business card for the business, and I got rid of it because I was trying to get a sign-up offer for a personal American Express card, which I do. I actually have 5 credit cards from American Express and 2 charge cards, right? But no, I don't have any business cards, and this is something that I could and should build upon. But I don't know. I guess just kind of where I am right now with the credit situation. I'm not insanely aggressive, or I don't know. I'm not as into it. Like right now, the things that I'm really focused on is trying to set up for the future and try to make sure my money's right in the future, and that I'm kind of making automated money, and that in 25 years, sooner would be nice, right? But I'm saying 20, right? Because I'm 44 right now. I'll be 45 next month. So in 20 years, I'll be 65, right? Like, obviously, I want to be in a place where I'm making great money and I'm not doing anything to make that money. So like a lot of my moves now is to how can I set up, the future in that regard. So I'm not as insanely hyped as I was on credit cards, but I definitely love credit cards. It's a no-brainer, especially, cards like the Active Cash card from Wells Fargo with the $200 sign-up bonus for spending $500 in 3 months. You can't beat that. That's just as easy as it gets. What's going on, Quasia? Let's go. Thanks for stopping by. It says, hey, Money Monday. Listen, I want to apologize if I butchered your name. We go through this every time. So I appreciate you stopping by, though. It's a pleasure to see you in the building. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to slap them into the chat. We got Debt Free in 3 says 5% on gas. Which card is this? There are a couple of decent 5% cashback cards in regards to gas. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but I know that there are a couple. I don't know, like it's, you know what, like how silly is that? I drive Uber and I'm not insanely worried about getting 5% cash back on my gas, which is silly, right? Or even using Get Upside, which is also silly because I am not taking advantage of that. I am using my little rewards card, from Navy Federal to get my 3 times points on gas. But I don't even do that every single day because I use Walmart Plus. And I use Walmart Plus because one of my credit cards reimbursed me for the Walmart Plus membership. And so the Walmart Plus allows me to get 10% off of gas at Murphy USA gas stations and Exxon gas stations. And so it's so funny. I'm so lazy. So I have my flagship credit card that gives me 2% on all my purchases. And then I have my cash reward cards that gives me 3 times points on my gas purchase. But because my credit card number is rubbed off on my cash rewards card, my More Rewards card from Navy Federal, I don't have that card attached to my Walmart Pay, which is like stupid. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's beyond silly. I'm sure I could find my entire credit card number because like when I use Walmart Pay and I pay for my groceries, I'm getting the 2 times points, right? But I could probably get 3 times points if I use Walmart Pay for groceries and for gas, which, on my More Rewards card. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. It's Quasia says, you're correct. Let's go, boy. Finally, after a million years, what I needed was some time off to say your name correct. So yeah, once again, what are some cards that you guys think that I should consider applying for? Because once again, I am in the market once again for applying for credit cards, and I want to apply for multiple cards in the same day. It's so interesting that like now I'm like, should I be applying for cards? I mean, I don't really need, I don't need any more cards, obviously, right? But I don't know. It's interesting. I'm in an interesting place in my life right now where I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as impressed or enthused about certain things, which is a good place to be. I think one of the things that's kind of cool that I think I'm slowly learning and understanding is the fact that the older I get, the less I care about what people say and what people think. And this is an interesting one for me because I'm sure I care about what people say and think, but the older I get, the less I care about it. And the more I start to understand older people, and they just don't give a F, right? So it's interesting. I'm very grateful for the life that I live. the life I'm living, the life I lived past tense, because I've learned a lot. And man, I love driving Uber. Some of the conversations that I have with my riders, it's the best. It's just like, sign me up for that. Listen, if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to slap them in the comment section. I see we have 20 viewers. Thank you guys so much for smashing the thumbs up. I appreciate the support as usual. We got my boy Adrian in the building, says, Dwayne, what up? Long time not see you. This card is so good. I use it for my utilities. 2% is good. Dude, that's so that's so smart. You know what I'm saying? And that's what for me personally is appealing. Of course, if I can get a 5% cash back by using specific categories on my US Cash Plus or my Discover card, of course, that's always a W. But I'm not as obsessed with maximizing that as I once was. The 2% cash back and the fact that the Active Cash card has no annual fee. I mean, it's just 2% adds up super quickly. And once again, I personally like to see my points, my cash stack up. Love seeing it. Hear me? Love seeing it. It's just, for me, it's just way more powerful that way. It's more powerful for me to see, okay, you got $100 cash back, or $200 or $500 or $800 or $1,000, right? Because I've shown you guys videos of having $1,000 worth of points, or $1,000 worth of points on my Navy Federal credit card where I was able to redeem. Like, that's monumental to me. And of course, it's even cooler when I could take that money and blow it if I want. But it feels like I don't ever really blow money these days anymore. It feels like everything has a specific purpose. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's me. I like to see that stuff add up. I don't like credit cards that just like with the Apple Card, like they automatically use your cash back that you're earning to pay your bill. Now, of course, it's a little different now because of the savings account that you can create, and your cash back goes into that savings account, which is not a bad deal. Like, I would have loved this from the jump, but you know how Apple is. They're slow to do everything, and we complain about it and we just accept it because it's Apple. What's going on? My brother Points Blank Travel is in the building. Thank you so much for stopping by, my bro. Says D, what's good? Dropping in to the show to show some love. Just made it back from Cali. About to go live shortly. Much love, bro. Cool, man. Listen, if you're not already subscribed to Rod's channel, Points Blank Travel, be sure to subscribe. I mean, he definitely has a bunch of channels. He has Points Blank Finance, the Points Blank Experience, Points Blank Network. So be sure to subscribe and go ahead and support him. He's said he's going to be doing a live stream pretty soon, and I'm definitely going to be ending this one soon as well, because it's about to be 8 o'clock and I need to be asleep by like 9:45 so I can get up at 3:45 to hit these Uber streets here in Houston. But it's a pleasure to have you in the house, my bro. Matthew, what's going on, man? Says, what do you think about the Bond Boy Brilliant card with Amex? Is it a Marriott credit card? It's a decent card. I think it's actually, if you can justify the annual fee, it's a solid card, right? Because they give you a lot of things that you're going to get your money back for. You got the hotel, credit of $200. Of course, you got to, spend the night in one of their fine hotels. Of course, you have I think it's $200 airline credit. So already that's $400. I think the annual fee on that card is like, I think it's $450. Whatever it is, you're going to get that money back very, very quickly. And I do mean very quickly. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Bonvoy Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I considered getting it, but the thing is, the way my annual fees are set up, it's a turnoff for me, just because I got, enough annual fees. And no matter how I want to justify those annual fees, like, it's still real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Hey, Rod, answer this question for me. Are you able to kind of still do referrals with American Express? I was kind of looking for that the other day and I couldn't see it. So answer that question for me, Rod, please, my brother. Wow, Matthew says he thinks it's $6.95, that annual fee. Now, of course, I'm waiting on my internet to internet, right? I got it searched up. I clicked on the link and I'm just sitting here like it's not loading, which is bananas. Not sure why it's not loading. Let's see here. It says it's waiting for American Express. Huh. Interesting. Maybe I use a different browser. Give me 1 second here, guys. I guess I could try to use Safari, which I never use Safari. You feel me? Never. Let's see. Bonvoy, brilliant. But I think the card's a decent card. I mean, like I said, you can justify that annual fee. Then, you know, it's a no-brainer. They definitely give you the option to, you know, use. Let's see. I got it pulled up here. So share my screen with you guys. 5,000 spend in 3 months. Okay, and of course you get 6 times Marriott Bonvoy points. Each dollar that you spend at the hotels. I mean, it's decent. Like, but I mean, one of the things, like I said, that's really kind of cool is the fact that you get all the opportunities to, you know, maximize by the things that they allow you to get. Right. So look at this here. So of course you got the really expensive one, the $650 one, and it's telling you that you got a $300 dining statement credit. Okay. Then of course you got Platinum Elite status with Marriott Bonvoy. I don't really know what that is because I don't have that right now. Of course you get the Marriott Bonvoy property credit, $100. You get, okay, sweet. You get TSA global entry or TSA pre-check, which is huge, right? And that's 4 years. You get your 25 Elite Nights credit. You get your Priority Pass Select. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So those things kind of help offset. What was I talking about an airline credit though? I feel like, is that a different card? I guess it must be. I'm bugging. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. But for me personally, 650 is a grip. You know, I'm already crying about my American Express Platinum card. You know, I'll be crying about that one as it is. I literally just paid my annual fee for my Delta Platinum Sky Miles card. It's $250, and I am ashamed and embarrassed to say this out loud, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. So the Platinum Sky Miles card from the Delta Sky Miles Platinum card from American Express has a companion certificate, right? And it's $250 annual fee. So you don't get the companion certificate the first year of membership. So you sign up today, you can't use that certificate until you pay your annual fee the second time. I have paid 3 annual fees. So in other words, I think I've had 2 years that I could have used in that companion certificate. Never used it. Too bad Delta doesn't have a bunch of convenient flights and cheap flights, but I need to find a way to use it. I've never used the companion certificate, so guilty. I'm guilty. Guilty. Chambay, what's going on, my bro? Thanks for stopping by. It's a pleasure to have you in the building. Says, yo, what's up, Dwayne? As always, happy to be here. This is where I started my credit journey. This channel, much thanks. Thanks, bro. Thanks for that positivity, and thanks for letting people see that. Definitely that's important for somebody to see. Matthew, thank you for that $10 super chat, my bro. Says, great seeing you live again, D. Thank you, man. It's been a hot minute since I got a super chat. But hey, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, man. I'm living the good life. You know, I am so grateful and happy to be where I am. And this channel has made a lot of things possible and has changed the trajectory of my life. When I started this channel back in 2018, you know, it was just like, all right, man, you know, if you can make a $50 a month, that'd be great, right? Because I had no clue. And this channel has afforded me a lot of things. And this channel allowed me to quit my job, not because I'm making hella money on YouTube. That's not what happened. I ended up making a decent amount of money because of the authorized users that I was allowing people to be on my credit cards. So that opened up several doors, and then, you know, eventually that allowed me to consider getting a Tesla, because I was like, justify it. It's a business purchase. I'm gonna use it to drive Uber, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up getting a Tesla, which allowed me to drive Uber, because I was like, I'm gonna need a different stream of income to pay this Tesla car note. And then driving Uber gave me a different perspective. And one of the things I think is interesting about life that we can't change and we can't speed up. You can't change when something is planted in your mind. You can't change when you have the idea to do something. And it's super ridiculous. Like, you'd be like, yo, why didn't I think about this 4 years ago? And that's how I felt regarding Uber. Like, I dealt with a bunch of stupid stuff at the job that I had for a while. And because I was decently successful because of YouTube, I got to a place where I was like, I'm going to buy a Tesla. I justified it, right? No big deal, right? And because of the Tesla, I started Uber. And so now I'm just like, yo, Uber's the best because it's on my terms, right? And I have all the freedom. If I don't want to drive for a month, I don't drive for a month. If I want to, do whatever, I can do whatever. So I think that that's really, really neat. Points Blank Travel says, great to be here, bro. Thanks for the love. You already know, my brother. It's always love. John says, I know the Bonvoy Brilliant card was just revamped recently and the annual fee increased and the credits changed. Maybe that's what it was, because trust me, I'm like, yo, that airline credit is dope. And the hotel credit was also dope. So I don't know. That's crazy. Jesus says, anyone here have the Bilt credit card? How you like it? There was a gentleman earlier that I don't remember who was it. Mikey was in here earlier talking about the Bilt card and the fact that he likes it. Well, I guess he didn't say he liked it, but he said he got the card, which is pretty freaking cool. Listen, if you guys have any more questions, please slap them into the comment section. Definitely want an opportunity to answer your questions. If I don't get some questions, your boy's going to get up out of here because, like I said, I got to get some rest. We got Flowmaster8 says, do you still drive for Uber part-time? I do. And Uber is really my full-time gig, but I don't do it full-time, right? I'm not insanely consistent because sometimes it's slow. Lately, I find myself having to be hyper focused, Uber for me is easy to drive when it's busy, right? So like I wake up at 4 a.m. by 8 o'clock, I'm already at $100, 9 o'clock. I'm 125, 140. This is obviously a good day, right? And so it makes me look at sleeping in differently. Now I'm like, yo, maybe I shouldn't be sleeping in, right? So now, it's like start at 4, it slows down 9, 10 o'clock. I hit the gym because it's insanely slow, maybe come out of the gym 1 o'clock, or depending on when I go in 1, 2, 3 o'clock, I'm out of the gym and I start driving again. And it's not ideal. Like, I don't want to do that because like I hate driving in the dark at 4 a.m. and then like I'm still driving at 8 p.m. and it's getting dark again. And then I'm going to go home and wake up and come back out in the dark. So Uber's been interesting to say the least. When I have liked it the best, I start at 4 a.m. and I'm done 2, 3, 4 p.m. because I made, $250, $260, 300 something bucks, right? Because my goal is like $200 a day. So like the 200 plus whatever it costs for gas. So like, let's say $250. Right? It doesn't cost $50, but let's just say $250. I feel good about that. But some days, like, I'm not going to make $250. Like on a Tuesday, $250 might be hard to come by. I might be logged onto the Uber app for 15 hours and still don't make $250, right? Just because there's not the demand for it. But all in all, Uber's a win. And I'm not willing to drive at night, right? So like if I drove early morning, like 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, that's a win. And then if I drove from like 4 p.m. to like 9, 10 p.m., that would be another win. But I'm not willing to do all that. But I think it's cool, though. I like it. I like it a lot. And honestly, I'm always telling people, look, listen, you need a little extra money. Like, you need to jump on Uber. Like, don't make any excuses. We literally live in the land of opportunity where we have countless ways to make money, countless options, which is kind of ridiculous. Matthew says, have a great week, everyone. Yes, sir. Absolutely, my brother. John says, I would get the Bilt card if it pays mortgages like it does rent. It seems to be a great travel card with no annual fee. The annual fee thing, like I said, Wells Fargo did a good job with that. Jesus says, just a thought, Dwayne, on the next car purchase, stretch your car payments out by maybe 120 months. That lowers your monthly payments. So when it's slow, you don't feel the pain that much. First of all, that's solid advice. My Tesla car note was $737. I think I ended up financing almost $49,000. So I financed $49,000. My APR, or my interest, was 2.29, which was very good at the time. It actually was very good. And my car note was $737. Like, that's a lot. Now, it's not necessarily a lot if I look at it like, oh, I'm driving Uber for the sole purpose of paying the car note. Like, I can make $737 in 1 week driving Uber. So, it's about perspective. But I had to get rid of that just because, I don't know. I would get another Tesla at some point. And I actually was looking at the prices the other day because they brought back the tax credit, $7,500 tax credit. So like even getting one now would be better than when I got it. Right. But whatever. I want them to expand the range on the cars. That would make it a lot easier for me personally. I was kind of just turned off a little bit because the range was nowhere close to what they estimated that you were going to get. Like it's nowhere close. Micah says, got approved for the Freedom Unlimited in March for $4,000 and a credit limit increase on my Freedom Flex from $500 to $2,000. Good to see you, Dwayne. Hey, thank you so much for sharing that information and congratulations to you. That is huge. Man, that's got to be super exciting. I mean, to go from 500 to 2,000 is awesome. And to get approved for the 4,000 limit, it always feels good. So congratulations to you. Keep doing what you're doing. And I mean, I'm a little jealous. Chase is the place to be. Chase has some really, really good cards. Adrian says Amazon Visa doubled the percent given people 4% at restaurant, gas, and local transit, and 2% on other purchases until July 31st. They are making this card good. No, absolutely, man. I think, like I said, for me, when it comes to cards, as long as that card makes sense for you, I'm not well, maybe I am a credit card snob, but I'm not the credit card police. Do whatever is serves you, and it serves you is where you are on your journey, right? Like back when I'm getting the Capital One Platinum card, that's where I was. That's where I had to start. That was the first card that I got in 2013 when I started to rebuild my credit by myself, right? Like I didn't know anything about anything. And I didn't have any money to pay off, creditors. Wasn't interested. I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to ride this out, and that's what I did. Devin says U.S. Bank bought Union Bank. So I have 11 cards with U.S. Bank, 3 checking accounts, 2 saving account, and 6 credit cards. Damn. Wow. You have 11 accounts, 3 checking, 2 savings, and 6 credit cards. Wow. Jesus says extra on the principal when it's going well driving. You almost always paying the principal. Yeah, I mean, the good news now is I don't even have nothing to worry about, right? Like I don't have the Tesla. Like I literally sold the Tesla July 2022 to Carvana and made $10,000 more on it, which makes me look like I'm a smart businessman. Like which I wasn't. I just got lucky. It was a perfect storm. But I'll do it. I'll take that win. Flowmaster 8 says another win in the tax write-offs. Yes, sir. You are right, my brother. Devin says, yes, the Built card does give rewards for rent, and there would be a checking account linked to the credit card for rent purchases. Gotcha. Listen, you guys, I'm about to get up out of here. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for the next minute just to make sure if anybody has any questions. And so that I can answer it. But otherwise, I'm going to get up out of here because it's 8 o'clock Central Time here in Houston. And my bedtime is fast approaching, which should be at 9:45. So I can be up at 3:45. Even though Tuesdays are normally slow, there's nothing like getting up at 3:45, getting out there 4 in the morning and sitting there for 30 minutes. It's like, yo, you could have been sleeping. You could have been asleep. But like today was a very, very good day. And today is one of those days where I could have easily made probably $400 if the traffic had kept up the way it started this morning. But of course, it didn't. So anyway, I can't complain. I mean, even last week was not an easy week for me, but as long as you're taking steps forward, it's a W. That's just how it is. All right, listen, I'm gonna get up on out of here. Adrian says Apple is 170. Dwayne, you think to sell some or just hold forever? Nah, man, I can't sell. Definitely not with Apple. Now, that's funny that you said that, because I did sell a little bit with Apple just because I wanted to take some profit. But overall, I'm holding. I sold some, Friday or Thursday. Finally, like, I'm up quite a bit with Apple right now. I'm up $32,000 with Apple. But overall, I'm still, what am I, like 45,000 in the red? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still down overall, even though I'm up 32,000 with Apple. But it's about the long play, and there's no reason for me to sell Apple, to be honest. Like, I sold some to take a little profit just because, like, I've been down so long. So I was like, I wanted to take some money off the table. But overall, nah, it's a no-brainer. My average cost right now with Apple is $145. There was a time where my average cost was $125 for the longest time. So yeah, I'm a chill. All right, you guys. Devin says, have a nice week. Hope you do another stream soon. Yes, sir. I absolutely should be doing so. I don't know. I'm kind of just doing things on my own terms and not really freaking out about what others are expecting or what I've done in the past. I just do what feels good to me, and I try to take the pressure off myself that way, just because, I can, and why not? That's going to be it for this live stream, you guys. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I will see you guys in the next one. Once again, my name is Dwayne with How to Build Credit TV, and I approve this video. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.